Hey there, my fellow Baldurians. So today we're going to cover how to get the permanent invisible eye. This is a buff that will make it so that your character can see things that are invisible no matter what. It's not a buff that'll go away. It's a pretty gruesome buff to get, but it's actually one of the most fun things that I've found to get in the game. The first thing you're going to do is, once you get to the Emerald World, come over here and talk to this fine gentleman, Volo. He's going to give a whole little speech. We're not going to go into the speech too much. You can kind of say whatever you want. He's going to just talk about the raid, and I'm not going to give any spoilers. You guys go ahead and talk to him. Eventually, he's going to leave. He's going to tell you he's going to the Goblin Camp, and that's where we're going to meet him again. And this is the path to get your permanent invisible eye. Okay, so you made it to the Goblin Camp, and you will see our little friend Volo here has been captured. Go ahead and talk to him, and you're going to end up pissing off this little goblin that believes she now owns him. She's going to stick him in another cage, and it's going to be your job to get him out of there. So let's go ahead and head over there.
Of course, ma'am.
My name's Gribbo, idiot!
Right, yes. No fool me.
And after she knocks him off the perch like that, she's going to lead him back to his new... So once you go into the main area of the Goblin Camp and you see Priestess Goot, take a right, come up these stairs, and your mini-map should have the icon for Volo as long as you've actually been talking to him. And you're going to have to come in here, and you're going to notice he is locked up tight. His little goblin captor, Gribbo over here, is not going to want to let him go. Now you can do a couple different things. You could either take her out traditionally, you could possibly buy him, or you could just talk your way out of it. One other thing you do to completely avoid that completely is if you took a rest first, or you haven't used your illicit powers, you could just command her. I don't know if I've actually done that. Let's see. No, my illicit powers aren't there, so we're going to have to try something different.
Until you rest.
Yeah, let's go do that. We'll just threaten her. If not, I'm just going to kill her. Alright, so we got him.
He's the
trouble. Here's the key. You could lockpick this. There's so many different ways you can get him out, but all you have to do is get him out. Once you get him out, tell him to go to your camp.
We mustn't tarry.
Let's see. Go to my camp. We'll talk to you there. So when he gets to your camp, the first time you talk to him, you're going to actually tell him about your condition. He's going to say, okay, I'm going to look into it. And the next time you go back to your camp, he's still going to be there, and this is how you get your magic eye. Okay, now that you've talked to Volo, he's back in your camp, and he's just sort of chilling there. So when you go talk to him again, he's going to have you're going to be able to ask him a question.
Quite the cozy setup you have.
Has your research turned up anything that might help with this parasite problem? And as per Volo fashion, he definitely thinks he's got your problem solved. This is actually something that is pretty difficult to watch, and I think this is why a lot of people didn't know that you could get this buff, because it is going to cosmetically change your character. This is something that you're going to do. It can't be undone. And this also will make it to where you cannot make a deal with Auntie Ethel. She's not going to be able to take out your eye, because she's going to see that you have this eye already, and you can't make a deal. I do believe you can use one of your other companions. Oh, fuck, here we go. How many times have you done this before?
I assure you, I've dreamt of it 1,000 times over.
I don't know who dreams of jamming spikes in people's fucking eyes, but alright, we're just gonna go ahead and do it.
Carefully holds one of your eyes open and begins to prod uncertainly with the needle.
Oh. So you're going to be inclined probably to be like, yeah, maybe this isn't a good idea.
The needle finds
We're just going to see what happens. I know what happens, obviously.
Socket. Volo frowns and begins to push.
Just if your sound isn't up very high, turn it up just a little bit, because these sounds are...
Pain shoots through your body as the needle snags on your optic nerve.
I think I have it.
The needle seesaws back and forth, plucking the nerve like a harp string.
Oh, bother. There's some obstacle in the way. I shall need a more robust...
I wonder what the obstacle is. Again, this is where, like, you're going to want to stop, but no, keep it going.
Carefully withdraws the needle from your eye. Then, reaching into his bag, he
Fucking
produces
ice
an
pick.
ice pick.
Yeah, I the implement, no pun
Volo
intended.
slowly brings the ice pick closer to your eye.
Now, don't.
I've watched this and I'm still holding my breath.
Cold metal presses
I don't know why they
against the
disapproved,
skin
but
beneath your brow.
oh well.
And then, tap, tap, stab.
I like.
I agree. It's a feisty critter. Just a little further.
Volo tears the pick from your brain with a violent jerk. Your eye plops down into the mud.
Drat.
He pulls
That's it. That's all he's got to
looks
say.
down at your eye and recoils slightly as it sinks into the mud.
The good news is you're not dead. You're not happy.
There appears to be an amount of
You
cosmetic
think?
damage.
Knock my fucking eye out.
Please, try not to overexert yourself. You're in a rather fragile state at present. I can't help but feel partly responsible.
Oh no, you think?
Perhaps there is something more I can do.
A question you're gonna have to ask yourself: was this worth having? Not only you're gonna get a different color eye, which
Take
that
this.
didn't bother me,
A far superior relic to that old jelly.
but now you
were
can see
changed
invisible.
to. Try it on for size.
This helped me out
And,
in a lot of different
it
areas,
was
especially when I was in the
very nice
Gauntlet of
to have
Shar.
met you. I'm sure
There's some
you
things in there that
solved
like to
your
go
little
invisible.
brain problem one way or another. Far away from here, if you've a heart. Terribly sorry, my friend. Ta.
Ta. And if you go over here, you now have the see invisibility condition permanent. You can see invisible creatures within 9 meters. Creatures must succeed at dexterity saving throws or lose their invisibility. And actually, it's great because there are plenty of times you'll be in a fight and all you gotta do is just walk up to them. You know they're in the area, and you're good to go. But as you can see now, I went with my traditional Loathsworn Drow red eye to also having a green eye. Which, like I said, if you don't mind the cosmetic change, I say go for it. I personally, I didn't care to have a different color eye. Like, it's not a big deal for me. I like the fact that nothing's kind of sneaking up around me. So, but that's it. That's how you get the permanent invisible eye buff.